The Google algorithm has been acting up lately. It's been giving me very strange recommendations. Usually it's right on the money, and sometimes predicts things that I want before I even mention them out loud. I wonder how it knows. I mean, is it reading my mind, or does it just know me better than I know myself? For instance, recently I was thinking about replacing my laptop. The old one was starting to malfunction and was slowing down to the point of being irritating. Surely enough, ads for laptops starts appearing on the side of my browser window when I visited various websites, even though I hadn't mentioned the problem to anyone and hadn't even said out loud that the old laptop was bothering me. Again and again, ads began to show up that catered to my very exact needs, getting more and more creepily specific. A hole ripped suddenly in my underwear, and an ad for underwear pops up on my Google phone. I broke a coffee mug, and ads for coffee mugs started to show up. I didn't even have to think about stuff after a while. Popped up in my feed before I even knew I wanted it. I tried not to give in to these temptations, but I couldn't help myself. The ads were too perfect. It was everything I ever needed at the click of a button. Didn't even help that I had a shopping addiction once upon a time. This brought it all back. The bills began to pile up as my online shopping became a real problem for my wife and I financially. I started seeing looks of disgust and annoyance on her face when she talked to me, and I realized I was ruining our marriage with my constant need for these perfect things, which were clearly meant so specifically just for me. But to be honest, it wasn't just that. There were problems long before that. The buying habit was just an escape, I began to realize. Still, I couldn't let her take that from me. I mean, she wanted to cut up my credit cards, wanted to cancel it, but I told her no. Then, very soon after that, new ads started to appear when I was browsing on the laptop. Ads for shovels, for lye, for dark clothing and flashlights, for spades, pickaxes, and grass seed. Strange, I thought at first, since we didn't even live in a house with a backyard. Why was it making such odd recommendations all of a sudden? Looking at the laptop more closely, I realized why the algorithm had my desires wrong suddenly. It wasn't synced to my Google account. Laptop was logged into my wife's profile. But why would she want to buy these things? Gardening tools don't make a lot of sense when you don't have a garden, or even a yard. I opened up the history tab, going back and seeing what she had been looking at. Strangely, the last 24 hours were wiped blank. She was still out at the grocery store, so I pulled up the bank statement and a credit card account, overwhelmed with a desire to find out the truth, like an itch in my mind that I couldn't help but scratch. When I logged into my Google account and tried to follow the money, as they always say in movies, I couldn't help but notice the new ads dominating the border of my computer screen. Learn self-defense now. Meadow Valley Karate School, currently accepting new students. Put on these brand new Nike running shoes and get outside. Go! And finally, Bob's gun store. Can't put a price on safety. That last one was actually nearby. And so I decided to quit browsing the internet, just get out of the house. And after all, the only thing I could find in her bank and credit card history was a big cash withdrawal the day prior. Hadn't been me. Only Christine could have taken money out. But why? And part of me wasn't surprised when I saw her car parked outside of the gun store. She was so transfixed by her new purchase that she didn't even notice me as I drove past, gawking at her. She was holding a large pistol in her hand, stroking it thoughtfully. Christine had always said she hated guns. I guessed maybe that she had changed her mind. I drove for a long time after that, more afraid than I'd ever been in my life, terrified of the woman I'd married. A couple of hours outside the city, my phone started to ring. I pulled over into the gravel shoulder and fished the Google Pixel phone out of my pocket with shaking hands. Looking at the screen, it was a video call from Christine. She was obviously wondering where I was. Swiping up on the screen, I saw her face appear. Seeing it made me feel like I had been wrong about everything, like it had all been a big mistake. I mean, she could never do anything to hurt me. "Hey, where are you? Are you driving?" I asked her, seeing the background of her video call. She looked to be on a country road somewhere. "Yeah, of course. I was worried sick about you. I pulled up your GPS data on your phone because you didn't come home after dinner. Where are you going? Oh, of course, forgotten about that. She knew my password. She could track my phone. Tell him to stay where he is. A man's voice said in the background. Stay where you are. I'm coming to get you, okay? She's coming to get me. All right. Christine, whose voice was that? The call suddenly cut out, as her stunned face seemed unable to come up with a response to my question. I'm browsing my phone now, looking for a motel where I can spend the night. The promoted ones that keep popping up are for places in Mexico. I think maybe I should listen to Google this time. Hey there kids, it's me, MrCreepyPasta, and thank you for watching tonight's video, or listening to tonight's podcast. I want to tell you about one quick thing before we say goodbye for the evening, and that's going to be about the MrCreepyPasta plush. The plush is only available for a limited time, so if you guys head over to makeship.com, then you guys are able to get this MrCreepyPasta plush. It's super cool, it glows in the dark, which is really cool, and he's super soft and cuddly. So it's makeship.com/products/MrCreepyPasta-plush. Or you know what's easier? Makeship.com. There you go. And as always, I want to give a very big thank you to everybody who is supporting me on Patreon. If you guys have been supporting me on Patreon, or if you're considering doing so, then know that I just added in a couple of cool things for the loyalty program because I found out that I could. I had no idea that I could do that. So now, you guys should be getting some cool things in the mail brought to you by Patreon that are pretty cool. They support the channel as well. Oh, getting to the point though, a huge thank you to patrons such as Jordan Alexander Sanchez, Bryon Arce, Bobby Karman, Stephanie Butler, Tristain Pelton, Chance Burnett, Diana Kraus, William King, Heather McDonald, Reaper61167, Alex the Sandwich, Darth Miver, Michael Ortiz, Satanic Aries, Ness69420, aisodoehtraed with 2 exclamation points, Nessie, Ronnie Hansen, Bardohawk764, Melancholy Corpse, Ferb, Harley, Billy Morrow, Madam Skullbunny, Sashi Sazaku, Grizzly Olsen.pro, Kayden the Spooky Boy, Zane Nightshade, MyBodySoundsLikeRiceKrispys, Ashwood, Lord of the Weeds, Jay, Miss Exandra, Mr. Unsettling Spaghetti, Suji Campbell, Stricken, Azarine Fox, Fried Chicken 12, Freddy Krueger, Pie Nanny, Michael Scarborough, Infernal One, Lisa Cottrell, Caspian, Jordan Nels, Hades Nephew, Tater Chip, Acid System, Prozac and Pancake Appreciation Society, Cryptic Nightmares, Kiri the Sloth, Tommy Green, Fester's Lampshade, Sky Harbor, Nina Smith, Nico Cayo, Rafael Rodriguez, The Ginger Bros, Aaron Stormcrow, Daniel Polson, Trey Smiles, and Corey Kenshin. Thank you guys so much, so much for being a part of the Patreon and helping me keep the lights on and helping me get exclusive stories and everything that we do on the channel here. Thank you guys so much for being a part of it. Thank everybody in the description, and thank you guys who have stayed to this part of the video. It really means so much to me. I hope you all have a very happy Halloween, and sweet dreams.